All right, welcome everyone. I'm Dr. Beth Vonnahame. I'm an associate professor in the political science department and associate dean in the College of Arts and Sciences. I'm joined today by one of our political science students, Chase Ford. And just to give you a little bit of background on me, I've been at UMKC for 14 years, and I teach courses on American politics, political psychology, campaigns, and so forth, all the fun classes in political science. And so I'll have Chase introduce himself, and then we'll have a little conversation about why you should come to UMKC.
Yeah. So hi everyone. My name is Chase Ford. I'm a senior here at UMKC. I'm studying political science, environmental studies, and philosophy. I also serve as the senior student recruitment ambassador for the college. So Dr. Bonami and I are here to just talk a little bit more about political science.
All right, so we'll start with a very basic question. Why did you come to UMKC, and why did you choose political science?
Yeah. So I'm from a big college town here in Missouri. So I definitely wanted to branch out. And so Kansas City was a good financial decision for my family. It also just felt like home when I visited campus for the first time. It's cheesy to describe, but once you know it, you know it. And that's how I felt about UMKC. Political science specifically. My senior year of high school was the 2016 election, and we're recording this now a week before the 2020 election ends. So those very politically mobilizing times really just inspired me. I also did speech and debate in high school, Model UN. So everything I was doing at the time basically just urged me like, you should go ahead and just formally study how political institutions work. So that's how I fell into UMKC in political science. What about you, Dr. Vanami?
Well, so I am a Texan, and so I did my graduate work in Houston at Rice. And so when I got the interview to come here to interview for the job, it was March and it was cold, which I know doesn't sound like a good fit for somebody from Texas. But when I came to Kansas City, I was like, I love this city. I want to live here. And so I got married here. I've had two kids here, and we just love the city nature of it, where you can go to a baseball game if you want, you can go to a concert, you can go to a museum, but also the neighborhood basis of Kansas City, where there's your neighborhood coffee shop and your neighborhood bar and restaurants, and it's just a place where you can really feel at home. So I totally get your notion of feeling at home. That's how I feel in Kansas City and at UMKC.
Yeah. So, big question that we get a lot is what sets political science at UMKC apart from other institutions?
That's a really great question. And part of it is that we obviously benefit from living in a city like Kansas City and having the city as really our background, right? Our backyard, really. But we also have a very active research faculty. So everyone in the political science department is doing really interesting cutting edge research, but they're also really good teachers, which is not always always a combination, but it is in our department. So at least 2/3 of the faculty have earned teaching awards, and they're also earning, research awards, and they're winning grants and so forth. So that's part of it. The other part I would say is that we have reasonably small classes compared to perhaps some college towns, as Chase referenced. And so the faculty really get to know you. And once they know you, they start looking out for you and trying to find opportunities for you to do cool things in the city or at the university. So that's why I think you should come to political science at UMKC. So tell me a little bit about the courses, Chase, that you've taken. Like, what's your favorite course at UMKC in
Yeah.
political science, of course?
Yeah. So I have two really big favorites. One is Dr. Best's Terrorism and Political Violence class, just because it's such a fascinating field of research. Especially, you get to tie in multiple fields. You get to tie in sociology and psychology. My personal focus is on environmental terrorism. So, like, food security, natural disasters, how does that fuel future conflict? So, from the subject matter alone, that was such an interesting course. One of my other favorite ones is Latin America politics, taught by Dr. Line. And through that course, I was able to become a research assistant for Dr. Line, in which, again, was a really nice way to actually get hands on research experience.
Yeah, so that's one of the unique things about UMKC is that because the classes are reasonably small, you can get to know your faculty and they get to know your interests. And when they have projects that you might be interested in, they're happy to have you assist with those projects. But what's really great is that a lot of students do independent research. And so they start working with a faculty member either on their project or they do a collaboration, and then the students go off and do their own research. So I know you've done some research, quite a bit of research, Chase. So tell us about one of your projects that you really liked.
Yeah. So I've done three big research projects. One was on memes as political commentary. Another was on Russian interference in the 2016 election. And the last one I did was the Portuguese national identity in 1974, a very like specific topic. But that topic was inspired by a study abroad experience I had in Portugal through the political science department and in ties with my political ideology course I also took as well. So I got to really spend a whole semester building that topic, which was really rewarding.
So I'm glad you mentioned study abroad. That's one opportunity that students have is to go on study abroad trips. Obviously not this semester, but generally. But one of the things a lot of students really enjoy doing is participating in internships. And at UMKC, we offer course credit for participating in internships. And so we have students doing internships all over the place in Kansas City and sometimes in DC and so forth. So tell us about your favorite internship or some of the internship opportunities you've had, Chase.
Yeah. So I've had opportunity to intern on the local and national level. I was briefly interns for Jason Kander when he ran for Kansas City mayor, and also worked in KC Housing. But primarily, I'm currently interning at the Environmental Protection Agency here in Lenexa, Kansas. And I do work on environmental justice, children's health, environmental education. So I've been able to tie in my political background in a lot of issues and help communities and help people. Well, which should always be the goal, well, with internship experiences, but especially with that one, it's been really nice.
So Chase gave you a great taste of the different kinds of internships you can do. Our students intern in law firms, they intern on campaigns, they intern in governmental organizations like housing and EPA. But all of those are aimed at giving students a firsthand experience. And the great thing about living in Kansas City is there's so many different kinds of these opportunities. So let's talk a little bit about the money situation for students. So that's probably, aside from, why political science, the second question I often get is, how do I afford college? And so what are some of the things that you found has helped you in sort of making college affordable?
Yeah. So college or cost was a really big reason for my college decision. And my parents were like, why do you want to spend $40,000 out of state when you can do it in state for a lot cheaper? And I took that to heart. And I found while at UMKC, my cost of education has really gone down, which I think is really unique to us. I feel like it's the opposite
Yeah,
most.
normally it's the opposite, yes.
Yeah. And that's because we offer a lot of departmental, campus-wide aid scholarships that I've been able to apply for. And a big part of that is building relationships with my professors because they're the ones that give out that money that help letters of rec or give out research opportunities. So that's been a really big lesson I've learned is like talk to your professors outside of class.
Yes, we are humans, it turns out. So that's a lot of great information you've given because we do have a lot of scholarships that are department specific. So we have university scholarships, then there are College of Arts and Sciences specific scholarships, but a lot of departments have both need-based and merit-based scholarships. And so it's really important to apply for every single opportunity that comes your way in terms of scholarships. But to make yourself a better candidate for those scholarships, getting to know people is really important, and getting involved both in terms of research opportunities, internships, but also just being involved in campus activities. So Chase, what are some of the opportunities students might have to get involved in student organizations or on-campus activities?
Yeah. So we have over 300 student organizations on campus. Good ways to learn about those is at the start of every semester, we have a student involvement fair where you can meet those organizations face to face or virtually. And, we also have a website called Rue Groups, which list out all the organizations, their contacts, when their meetings are and there's such a variety of different organizations. We have political ones, and we have a student group that goes and lobbies in Jefferson City on behalf of UMKC students. We have competitive organizations like I'm the coach of mock trial, volunteering, but also a good way is be willing to like stay after class, like stay after 5 o'clock and go to a random meeting or go to a random like we're giving out free food at the quad come say hi event because you end up meeting a lot of really cool people and organizations that way.
And saving some money on some food. Yes, I
Yes.
think any free food opportunity is really important. So those are some great examples. In the political science department, we have sort of a number of related political organizations like the College Democrats and College Republicans. We also have uh, a very active honor society, Pi Sigma Alpha, and that's true of all departments on campus. We all have honor societies. And so getting involved with those will give you a chance to meet other students and faculty. And it's really critical for success in college is to be involved with other students and the faculty on campus as well. So I think that's a wrap.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for listening, and I hope we answered some of your questions about political science. We'll also be here in the chat during this event if you have any further questions, or you can always reach out to the recruitment office, and I'm sure the same is for Dr. Vonnahame as well.
Yeah, you can always reach out to political science either via email at polysci at umkc.edu, or you can contact any of the faculty via the website and you can get our email addresses that way.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Vonnahame.
Absolutely.